Is it like that weird? You fight one person, then there's on another side you got your team fight another person. I don't know. It's weird. I can't describe it.
That description is weird.
You fight one person, then there's on another side you got
the thing with the thing.
I think I figured out what's causing the echo. It's because I'm playing. Oh, the wife. Hang on. I'm alive.
Yeah, you never told me. Alright.
Alright. Love you, babe.
Alright, love you too. Bye.
I'm alive. I'm sorry. Okay.
Don't forget about me next time.
I know you ain't talking.
I am.
Alright.
Alright, bye.
Love you. Bye. I messed up. Alright, so I think I know what caused the echo. So let's go ahead. Receive these orders. It's time for everybody to fall in. This is Warbound Radio. And I think ironically enough, now that we've got most of the tech issues out of the way, hopefully, that is my bad. I'm sorry. Still trying to fix it. I'm a rookie. We can begin to work as a squad. Also, keep in mind, Warbound Radio is a part of the Geeky Antics Global Network. Excuse me, the Geeky Antics Network Global. Because a gag makes no sense, but a gang makes a lot of sense. The gang features shows such as Gaming Death, Not Safe for Wrestling, Timey Wimey Tea Time, and of course, the infamous, the most unicorn poopiest of all the shows, Horseplay Live. Feature a wide variety of entertainment. Come check us out at geekyantics.net. That is GeekyAntics.net. But I digress. With me today is the man, the myth, the legend, the unkillable, the triple kill, the quadruple kill, the Kilimanjaro, Yogizilla, a.k.a. Yomar.
Dalish elves are the way to go. That is all.
He said something about some dingleberries. It sounds good to me.
No, man, the Dalish elves, man. It's all about the Dalish elves. No dingleberries. They might have dingleberries.
I don't know what a Danish elf is, but I'll eat it. Just look.
No, but it's a Dalish. Don't call it Danish. Ooh, that'll offend them.
Look like Paige.
That's the Dalish elves. They're the main elven tribe, I guess.
Do they?
What was that?
Look like Paige.
There are some that look like her, yeah. Pasty white and sexy.
We can do that there. We can do that.
Don't get the Paige thing started again, damn it.
I'm only talking about.
It's a slippery slope, man.
Talking about Paige.
Slippery slope.
Shut your mouth. Oh.
You know, it's funny because for the longest, I joked around. I said, Paige is going to be like the next one that's going to have some kind of controversy, leaked photos or video, or hell, she might go full on into porn. Just because she's been slowly divorcing the WWE, and then, like, it doesn't seem like she even wants to do that anymore. And lo and behold, yep.
Yeah. It's mainly because she wants to get out. And she
wants out.
The main reason is
Uh-oh.
That's all good.
Am I hearing
It's not an echo. It's the phone. It's the phone. Shh. Shh.
Oh, you're listening
I
to
just
the
making
stream.
sure it was good. It's mainly because she wants to get out for one, and they can't fire her because she's still recovering from a neck injury. So if it wasn't for that fact, she probably been gone a long time ago. Especially since she's broken the wellness policy, I think 2 times already. So she's on board.
Well, what provisions of the wellness policy? Drug abuse?
Drug abuse. Now, granted, that wellness policy is kind of a double-edged sword, because if you're using medication, like in the case of Adam Rose, he was using doctor prescribed medication. It's not like he went out and said, "Yeah, I'm going to roid up and get fired." He had no idea that the medication was going to get him in trouble. But in the case,
I think the same thing happened. The same thing happened with her actually. The pain meds she had from her neck surgery. I'm pretty sure they were trying to harp on the issue. Like they're trying to find an excuse to get rid of her.
yeah,
So I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's like
All I know is that she is a good entertainer. She is, and
she's.
no. Like honestly, I like watching her wrestler, and I wasn't me being.
Choose your next words wisely, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, now she's just an entertainer of another level. And I gotta say, since you brought it up, see, this is what you did. This, you did this.
I ain't do nothing.
That one video that she had, and there's many of them. It's not a singular event. There's one video where it's very obvious that she's in the locker room, and it's during a live event because you can hear the crowd roaring in the background. I'm like, damn, that's ballsy. And she was like, I got a short skirt on, and I gotta just move the thong to the side. We could do this. That's a whole new kind of bench press there, man.
I didn't know you could use a bar vertically. But anyway, because I don't want her mom to come after me and everything. Warchild Games is not affiliated with. No. I didn't even get a chance to introduce myself. I'm all on the page stuff, a little on the cheek with the page stuff. I did forget to introduce myself. My name is Warchild Mark IV, the man in command, the grizzled gunslinging veteran of the FPS wars. I'm not the best, but I'll shoot with the rest. Why? Because that's what they pay me to do. But
why? Because we love
yay!
You. M-O-U-S-E. Ammo song.
God.
Right on key.
But, gentlemen, or I guess in this case, gentlemen, with any luck, we might be joined by Tuka. We still have to wait and see. Shall we begin?
Holy shit! Holy shit!
If you didn't,
I'm being attacked by some kind of like dire wolf thing.
just in
Holy!
case you're wondering what that noise is in the background, Yogi is playing Dragon Age Inquisition, being attacked by some type of dire wolf thing. Reenacting Game of Thrones, Season 8, soon to be out. Actually, I think Season 8 might be coming out around, I think, maybe summertime?
Actually, no, it should be due right about now,
Man,
like
yeah,
April, March.
Still waiting on it. Plus, I think The Strain should be coming out, and God, there's a couple of shows.
Oh God, the strain. Yeah, iZombie comes back.
I need to check out iZombie. I haven't checked that show out. But if you've been watching The Strain, that little kid has pissed me off so much. Zach, you are an idiot. That's
Zach's the guy's son, right?
He's a
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ruin it.
Yeah, he's the whole reason certain people die and some really fucked up moments that could have been entirely avoided.
Most of this could have been avoided, but if it wasn't for the fact that he's like, "Yeah, my mom." He's like such a mama's boy. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Actually, a lot of people die because of him.
Yep.
Like literally, a lot of people. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna ruin it, but it is what it is. A dog is a dog. A duck is a duck.
Meow meow. Holy shit. Yep, I'm not supposed to be here. This guy has a giant skull on him. That usually means well beyond your level.
Yeah, that's
retreat.
What would you do if you played a game where you went into an area you weren't supposed to be, and instead of seeing like a giant skull on over a creature's head, it was something like that you didn't expect to see, like I don't know, a giant butterfly over somebody's head. And you're like, oh, this must be the easy level, and then the thing kills you. Like, what would you do if that happened?
Yeah, it'd be like a cultural thing where in their culture butterflies are menacing, so they're like, yeah, it's obvious you shouldn't be here because it's the butterfly.
Death.
And it's like, no, you should have gotten someone to help you with the localization of that game because that's not a universal truth.
Like in America, butterflies ain't scary.
But we're gonna get out of here. This is a bad place to be. No pee-pee touch. No.
It's not good. It's not good. It's a little scary.
Retreat. This game is really fun. I feel like this is one of those games that a lot of people skipped out on because it's released in an awkward time, or they just didn't give it enough of a chance.
It released around the same time that something else was coming out. I can't remember what, but I think it was another big game. But
well, this is Dragon Age Inquisition was a year one next gen game. First one of the first games to release on PS4 and Xbox One that I recall, if I recall correctly.
it was.
So there wasn't that much out at the time.
Yeah, because they were busy trying to remaster everything. Which, okay, fine, you're gonna remaster it, but you gotta at least, put some original games out there. Don't just be like, "Oh, we got your Fallout 57." It's like, okay, well, did you, you finished Fallout 1? You gonna remaster that? Can I get some Fallout 1 action? Or 3D over the top? Nah, if you want to bring something back, bring back Grand Theft Auto 2. I love that game. Like,
oh, the one with the little overhead view.
Oh my god, true story.
That was a good LAN party
That's
game.
what I was about to say, because there was a time where when I was in high school, it was supposed to be I think graphic design class, right? We're supposed to be using printing presses and learning about RGB. Was it RGBY or obviously this is about to go into the story that I'm telling because I can't CMYK and some other stuff. I can't remember most of the colors.
Yeah.
But, stuff that had to do with graphic design. Well, we ended up getting a copy of Grand Theft Auto 2, and we put on all the computers in that room. So, anytime class started, we would jump back, like at least 10 of us. We would all just jump back there, load up Grand Theft Auto 2, and have this huge-ass LAN party. God, that was where defense mode was born. Well, defense mode is basically like, if you can't kill something, you're just going to spin around in a circle, randomly shooting until something dies. And it only worked one time. That was with the flamethrower, because the flamethrower burns everything. Ah, good times. Oh, and tank sniping. Tank sniping was ridiculous, man. It's like, you're not even looking at the other person's screen. You're just sitting there trying to feel out where they're going to end up at. And you just shoot a mortar off, or you shoot a tank shell off, and the best result was hearing when somebody would say, "What the fuck?" Because like they didn't expect it. You can't see them; they can't see you until they get hit by a tank shell.
It's just like herpes, man. Never see it coming.
Put some lemon sauce on it. It's gonna hurt.
Lemon sauce.
It's gonna hurt good. Tasty. Getting back on track. So, ironically enough, and I've entitled this Warbound Radio episode 3.2 because there was originally supposed to be episode 3, but that never got recorded. It was a special ops version of Warbound Radio where we filmed it. It was live, but it didn't record. This should be different. So, on that pre-film show that we didn't record, we talked about the new Predator movie that is currently being filmed. What we know so far is that Shane Black, the same director that directed Iron Man 3, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Last Boy Scout, one of my favorite movies. It's a funny movie. It's not like it's not favorite enough to where I remember the lines, but it's just favorite enough to where I remember all the crazy stuff about it because it was a crazy movie. It's a good movie, crazy, still. He will be the director along with the writer Fred Decker, and the film is set to. Set for the later parts of fall, so like say September, October, and it is stated that it will be the biggest budget ever for a Predator film. So hopefully that's going to come in handy because me personally, I've liked Predator. I've always been hard-headed when I was younger as far as like watching movies that I shouldn't be watching because of Aliens. I'm kind of stuck on Aliens and Predator. My aunt told me not to watch it. I watched it anyway, and like for a good couple of years, I couldn't sleep peacefully because I was watching Aliens. So I love these types of movies. There was talks about Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back, but I don't think that's going to happen. But this is one new bit of information that we recently found is that Tom Jane will actually be in this movie. And some of the pictures that you can see on IMDb, they look like they're a bunch of convicts that are being transferred from point A to point B. And also, I think, God, what's his name? The guy that played Theon Greyjoy, he's actually going to be in this Predator movie too. And Keegan-Michael Key is going to be in the movie as well. So, the cast is coming together. Interesting cast. I don't know how Keegan-Michael Key, or Kegel, called him man Kegel. Keegan-Michael Key is going to play out, but, because he's more of a comedian. He was part of Key and Peele.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this is going to come out, really, because, you're taking a funny guy who, as far as I know, hasn't really played in any action movies. And final thing about the movie is that it's going to be set in modern day. So let's say March 2nd, 2008, and it'll be 30 years after the first Predator movie. But with all that being said, and especially based on the fact that the last Predator movie to come out was Predators with Adrian Brody, which was a decent movie. I wouldn't say that it beat out the original because, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's kind of hard to beat Arnold Schwarzenegger, But I don't know. What do you think the movie might end up? You think it'll be a good movie? You think it'll be a bad movie? How do you feel about it, Yogi?
I don't think you could go wrong. You have to really work hard to fuck up the formula.
True.
Though I don't remember Predators as well. Adrian Brody, you can't forget him because he's got a schnoz from I don't know where. So I'm trying to remember, did I see the whole thing?
He had Danny Trejo and Topher Grace, which was interesting because, he's playing a doctor and nobody really is wait, you're here? How are you a killer? Topher Grace was the crazy guy. He's he went around and he killed people on the operating table on purpose. So, because it was mainly just a bunch of people that were put together because of the fact that they were killers. But,
Oh, so Suicide Squad.
Well, kinda, but instead of them going out fighting evil, they were put together to be hunted. So, you got that aspect. But it's kind of weird because the whole lore about Predator is that they go in and they try and find the most worthy prey possible. So I don't know how a psychopathic nurse or a doctor would be worthy prey because, he's not killing directly. He's just killing people when they're in his little, surgery room or whatever, on a surgery table. So I don't know how that worked out, but it wasn't a bad film. It did need a little bit of work. Plus, Lawrence Fishburne was in it for a minute, and then they killed him off quick. It's like he was only in there for like maybe a good two scenes, if that. Then they killed him.
Yeah, he should have taken the blue pill. That's probably what happened.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. We shall see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Yeah. That's good. All I'm gonna see him in from now on. That's
The
it.
Matrix?
Yeah.
That's true. No. We'll go way back. You remember Pee-wee's Playhouse?
Oh my God! Yeah, he was the
Oh,
mailman, right?
Actually, it was the cowboy and mailman.
Oh
It was
no, I'm trying
Cowboy
to think.
Curtis.
Was he? Yeah, he was Cowboy Curtis. Yeah, you're right.
Back then, it was Larry Fishburne.
Yep.
Before he became a more refined actor named Lawrence. And he did Othello and all those other movies. Yeah. Memories. Good times.
His signature is the gap in his teeth. That's the only reason I remember him, because I was like, wait a minute, he looks familiar. And then I looked at the gap, I was like, oh, Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse, yeah.
There you go.
I mean, not to knock him, but that's like his calling card,
Yeah. But he's come a long way, man.
Very
He's
distinct.
come a long way.
It's like Keira Knightley. I love her, but like if you look at her, she's got like this really fucked up jaw. She looks like she could be like a puppet, but it looks good on her, and that's her thing.
Get that sexy puppet jaw.
Like, oh man, you're a sexy marionette.
I got no strings on me.
She can pull my strings anytime.
And on the topic of Monsters and Mayhem, moving right along. Power Rangers.
Oh, you cut off for a second. I lost
no,
you.
Don't
Oh,
do this.
I lost you briefly. So you said Power Rangers? Yeah, that's a thing.
Here's a question for you. Are we allowed to relive nostalgia? Because if you look at the way everything is lately, everything is a reboot. You know? Like, there's no originality anymore. It's like Hollywood is literally eating itself and regurgitating everything that's been put out. At least that's what it feels like.
It's like that game Snakes. A lot of people play it on their Nokia or on QBasic, and you end up eating your own tail, and then you like die because it's disgusting. That's Hollywood.
Yeah.
They just keep running into their own tail and eating it, and then they die because
More or
it's
less.
gross.
Because, I mean, hell, they've got didn't that King Kong movie come out? Or is it slated to come out soon?
Yeah, I think it just came out. Yeah, the Skull Island.
I mean, you know, just
But see, Power Rangers is a little different though because it's been going strong for a long time. It's still going. So Power Rangers is one of those things where it's not purely nostalgia, and I'm just trying to milk an old franchise. It's a franchise that bridges multiple generations,
true.
really.
because I remember when
Oh.
it came out for me, I was busy. What was it? Because I know it was after Sentai Warriors. It was like when the Black Ranger was literally the Black Ranger, when the Yellow Ranger was literally the Yellow Ranger, and you know, there's no racist at Saban. No racism at Saban, yeah. Okay. All right. Say what you will.
Well, not forget, everybody secretly wanted to see some leaked photos and videos of the Pink Ranger.
I don't know. I think I was too young for that. I'm like, oh wow, she can kick high. Wow. I ain't even gonna lie, the Yellow Ranger was hot to me. And then they made the Yellow Ranger black.
Which one?
Actually, both of them. Trini and what was it? Well, they gave the Yellow Ranger one of the blackest names you can give a black girl in a show. What her name?
Yellow. I'm gonna look it up right now. Yellow Power Range. I need a
I think
refresher.
her name was Aisha. I think. Don't quote me on it. Look up the Black Yellow Ranger. Okay, that just sounds like confusing now because.
Oh, Trini Kwan. I remember her. Yeah, she was cute.
What was the name of the black one?
And then with the black one, with the one with the really cool hair.
Yeah.
She had like this cool like kind of like part on the side, like part straight hair and part kind of like cornrows, maybe.
I don't know about that. I just remember she.
If it's her, if that's who you're talking about, yeah, she's hot. Oh God, what is her name? I would take her over the Asian one, hands down. Not that the Asian one was a slob or anything, but
I think her name was Aisha. Don't quote me on it, but
I'm trying to look her up.
How are you gonna name her the blackest name that you can find?
Hey, is this her? This is Karen Ashley as Aisha. Yep,
Lord,
you're right.
See?
Yeah, she was cute too.
She
yeah. No, I was thinking about another Yellow Ranger. She was cute too, though. I like her.
They really should have put Jason David Frank back in the film, or like have him make a cameo appearance in it. It is gonna come out soon, like on the 24th. What? Today's the 22nd, I believe. No, 23rd, because it's after 12. So yeah, it'll be out. It'll be out tomorrow. Be out tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Well, I gotta say though, it looks like they really fleshed out the Power Rangers universe. It's gonna look like there's gonna be a lot of substance to it, less cheese and more actual, real action and character development. So it's got some promise. Though the cheese factor of Power Rangers is one of the things that makes it so beloved. I think the fact that I could talk about Power Rangers with my kids, that's kind of cool too. It's just like Pokemon. It's like it unifies us.
True.
And my wife is picky as hell, and she even will get into it at times because it brings back good memories for her too. Like, remember when the kids used to pretend to be Power Rangers? Blah blah blah. It's kind of crazy. I remember I did some volunteer work at Head Start, and it was like all the kids were like trying to be Power Rangers, and one of the things I had to do is break up the fights because sometimes the kids would go too far. They like fight about who gets to be the black Power Ranger or the green Power Ranger. No one wanted to be the red Power Ranger or the yellow or the pink one, really. Unless it's like black or green. Those were your options.
Well, I mean, it kind of.
I don't know what that was about.
Because the Red Ranger is actually pretty cool at times. Because I remember, I think it was like maybe season 2 of the Power Rangers that came out, where he got that. They changed up the animals, so he ended up getting a dragon. I think the Black Ranger ended up getting like a frog, and there was like this weird horse thing. And no lie, the horse literally looked like it was one of those little things that you put 50 cents in at the grocery store. Actually, that's going way back. Most people probably don't remember that. But the little rides, it looked like a cheap ride that they decided to like throw in there and have be a Power Ranger or have be a Zord. But the Red Ranger had this really badass Dragon Zord that could turn into a standalone little dude itself. So I didn't know why people don't like the Red Ranger because of that. I mean, he had his own little dude. Heck, he had his own. He had a whole episode based on him trying to save the Power Rangers from something like time, or I can't remember what it was. It's been so long, but yeah, he should have got more credit than what they gave him.
Remember, these are little kids though. They're like 4 to 5 years, like pre-kindergarten age. It's Head Start. So like, I don't think they analyzed it that far. It was more like, well, in their heads, you just had this intuitive notion that black is authoritative and badass. So that's what we went with that. And then a Green Power Ranger, he did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. So
yeah, true. They never really should have got rid of that because he had a sword at one point when he was evil. They never should have got rid of that sword. It was awesome looking, like all wicked badass.
Oh yeah, they had to retcon it because he was too OP.
Yeah, especially with that shield. God, I remember those episodes. Zach, you're hurt. Take my shield. And then they like touch the little diamond in his chest, and they transfer the little, that big gold piece of bling. And then all of a sudden, the Black Ranger became stronger, so he like danced even more, and it made his dance move stronger, so he like fight even harder. You're sitting there like, wow. I'm not even gonna lie. When I was a kid, I'm like, I want to touch the shield and get the power. Because I mean, it looked badass. You're sitting there watching all this stuff unfold. You're like, I want that to be me. Shoot. God.
What was the shield called? I think it was called Usherus. Get it, Usher?
Meg.
Meg. Oh, good times.
Whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned Thomas Jane earlier. I think most people know him from the Punisher movie, which I think he was good as the Punisher. But most recently, we talked about this last time when, for some reason, the recording didn't happen. I don't know what happened there. But he's on this show called Expanse, the Expanse. That show is a bit of a sleeper. Like, no one's really talking about that show, but if you watch it, that is pure sci-fi bliss. Like, that show goes really deep. It's got a lot of interesting characters, factions. It's political drama, but then there's tons of action and deep space combat and planet side stuff. Like, that is a great show that I would recommend you check out on Sci-Fi. The Expanse, and Thomas Jane is on there. It's only on its second season, actually. The second season's going now.
There's something else I can watch, because me and the missus were trying to watch Dark Matter. We actually made it through season 2. Now we're wondering what season 3 is going to be like.
Oh, yeah. Dark Matter is dope.
Pretty good show. I got to give The Expanse a check out. But
yeah, Dark Matter, they're comparable shows, both of them. I'm trying to think, like, with The Expanse, the storylines are a lot more complex. You'll have to rewatch certain episodes to get the full breadth of what's going on. But it's good, though, like, because it has that much detail. It actually has, what's his name? I'm sorry if I messed up. Chadwell Coleman, which I got to meet in Walker StarkerCon. Really nice guy. If you don't know who it is, he used to be on The Walking Dead. He's the big black dude, badass, and then they killed him off.
Was that God? He showed up in the later seasons, right?
Yeah, he was one of the later characters. His sister's Sasha.
Yep. I know you're talking about that. Yeah, I got you. Because I thought you were talking about
And the thing is, the way they, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tita. Well, no, you think about the other guy. Yeah. No.
There's actually a main character in the what do you call it? The graphic novel.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he died.
The way they killed him off, man. The way they killed him off was stupid.
It was kind of yeah. You're right. It was. But I guess they figured they had to kill him off somehow.
Sorry for people who aren't caught up, but I mean, he got blindsided. Like the guy fought through a horde of zombies, barehanded, freaking bare-fisting, knuckling his way through them. He survived that. No weapon, nothing, just his wits and his strength. But then he gets blindsided while looking at pictures. Like the freaking, like clearly you can see the zombie approaching him, and I don't know, it wasn't very believable the way they shot it. I think it made it hard to suspend your disbelief, but that's a rant for another time. But yeah, The Expanse, you should watch that. If you like Dark Matter, if you like Dark Matter, definitely watch The Expanse. Did you get into Killjoys?
Killjoys.
Yeah, the Killjoys. It runs alongside of Fart Knockers of Dark Matter.
I didn't even know that. It's something for me to watch.
Killjoy is good too. Killjoy is like a bounty hunter type of story.
It sounds almost like
You know,
I don't know. I think Bounty Hunter for some odd reason. I think Chronicles of Riddick or
think
was it
yeah,
no, Pitch Black. Pitch Black.
yeah. I can see some similarities there. It's more though maybe Cowboy
Oh,
Bebop,
nice.
perhaps.
I can do some bebop.
Yeah, yeah. We'll go with that.
This Outlaw Star, to tell you the truth. They tried to make a second one called Angel Links, but it wasn't as successful.
Yeah, you would think that's a great formula. Like anytime you have like a ragtag crew, and you have like the space opera type of thing going on, and Firefly,
Yeah.
you know,
Which rumor has it that they want to bring that back.
they've wanted to bring it. The cast members have wanted to bring it back forever, especially Nathan Fillion. But Fox, they're the stumbling block. If they didn't own the rights, I'm pretty sure by now Netflix or Amazon would have produced it.
I just remember recently there was
Like, can you imagine if they made it an exclusive, dude?
Man.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Recently, I think there was rumors that they
Go
were
ahead.
talking about trying to come back. There was certain stipulations that Fox wanted the cast to meet before they even decided to make that happen. Though, so
Well, yeah, no. It's gonna be tricky now because Nathan Fillion's still doing lots of different work, and I think he still got Castle, so I had to shoot around that. He's the main character on
it
there.
had to be kind of hard to.
Um,
Like, you want me to do this show when I'm doing this one? I'll think about it.
I mean, they can do it, but they might have to order like 6 episodes at a time or something like that. Who knows? Depending how deep they go with it. And Morena Baccarat, who's beautiful, love her. She's she's doing Gotham.
It's another one I got to start watching again. It's like I tried to get into it, but it's like I think I just felt like I was so behind to the point where I'm like, well, I'll get around to it eventually.
But Gotham is tough because a lot of people go into Gotham with the expectation that it's gonna be a Batman story, and it's really not. It's more setting up that universe. You know, yeah, Batman's in there, but it's more about the villains and how they come to be. So
Makes sense. I mean, it's technically it's a prequel to everything. You know, this is how Gotham got corrupted.
yeah,
So that makes sense.
yeah. If anything, it's more about Commissioner Gordon before he's even the commissioner, and I think they do a really good job developing his character. Yeah, it's a really good show.
Well, speaking of hotness, the version of Rita that's going to be in the Power Rangers movie, which I'll be honest, Rita did not look like that whenever I was a kid. She looked like this old witch that had like, you know, this crazy Baba Yaga headdress and.
Baba Yaga.
I went there. You know, she looked like.
Carry on.
I'm just saying, that's what she looked like. She had like this Baba Yaga headdress, and you know, she looked all like crotchety, and she's like, "Make my monster grow!" you know, that's the.
I like the freaking YouTube cut where it's a little borderline racist, like make my grow. I won't say it. I'll be good. I'll be good. But that shit's hilarious.
True. I remember. I remember that. But this version of Rita is like freaking hot, man. But
Yeah.
the way she's dressed, it's like this green tight outfit she's got on. Which, you know, if you can look past the green tight outfit that she's got on, there might be like a little Green Ranger action going on. You never know. Because I mean, think about it. Rita did create the Green Ranger. Rita created Tommy's character. But I don't know why
Yep.
they would I don't know why they would make her a possible Green Ranger. But hey, anything's possible. It's there. Things may change. And then speaking of changes, what the hell happened to Alpha 5? I mean, it looks like have you seen the picture of this dude lately? Oh,
No.
it looks bad. Like Alpha was like this, this little round chubby dude. He's like, ay, 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 Rangers. He would do stuff like that. But this Alpha looks like somebody tried to go back and like just kind of pimp out a Pinto, and it didn't work. Like the dude's got a saucer head with eyes on it, and it looks like Alpha's been doing crack because he got skinny.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new Alpha 5. I just said I didn't notice.
It's
Let's
bad.
see.
It's bad.
New Alpha 5.
It's bad.
Oh, what the shit?
Yeah.
He's got like eyes on the side. That's not the final form, is it? Oh man.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about it.
No, I mean they couldn't keep it like the original because the original, even though we love it, he looks like freaking Cocky from Pee Wee's Playhouse, or he's just looks like some like rejected pop art type of shit, like some like artist got really high and threw some paint together. Like, ooh, people like rockets and UFOs. Yeah, let me do that. Hey, I'll take Astro Boy's body and put a flying saucer on it. Woo!
Why does this sound?
Then he starts some more
sounds
crack.
like a bad Bob Ross painting. Like, now we're gonna paint a happy little bush right over here, and if you mess up, it's okay, because we can just make that happy little bush into a pond. And you're like, what the hell, Bob Ross? You can't save this movie. Leave it alone.
But people do like happy bushes. It helped them go through the 60s, really, and the 70s.
True. On that note, though, we're just gonna turn the page. No, so we're just.
I left it alone. I just smiled. You didn't see it, but I was smiling.
Nothing. But the suits, though, I mean, that's like one of the main saving graces of this film was the fact that the suits still look like they're on point. They're pretty cool. They're like a modern, updated version of the old school mixed with new, and
Yeah.
I like them. But what I don't like is the Zords, because I don't know, it looks like somebody in the creativity department, saw what everybody else was doing, and it was like their first year there, and like, go ahead, Tommy, do what you can. We believe in you. We know you're gonna get it right. And then Tommy just went at it, and he took some Play-Doh, and he tried making something awesome, and then it failed, and he's like, this is what I got left. My daddy didn't love me. He never taught me how to play with Play-Doh. And then he just quit. And everybody else is like, oh, we don't have anybody that can do this, so I guess this will have to be the finished product. And then you've got these Zords. That's what it looks like. Story time of War Child.
I mean, that's true, but if you think about the creative liberties that Hollywood usually takes with well-established franchises, this is probably the most true to the source material we've seen in a long time.
True.
And I mean, X-Men for some reason comes to mind, and I enjoyed the X-Men movies, and they did a really good job bringing that to life and making it relevant for modern times. But at the same time, the freaking nerd in me, the purist in me was like, no, it's supposed to be yellow and blue or brown and black. What is this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, believe me, I understand. Because it's like, at that point, it's like, well, can't do anything now. It's written in stone. Should have did it better, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of questionable things, Ghosts.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
As much as I love Scarlett Johansson, I mean, that chick is hot. I'm not even gonna lie. Everybody that's seen Ghost in the Shell knows that Major Motoko is an Asian lady. And this film has already had some controversy behind it because I think they were trying to use some type of CGI program to make Scarlett Johansson look like she was Asian. I mean, really? Really? Is that what we've? It's Hollywood whitewashing, man. It's pretty bad. Like there was I think it was Egypt, Gods and Kings, and then there was another movie. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it had Sigourney Weaver in it. She was playing a queen of Egypt. Like, can we get some brothers and sisters up in there? Is that so hard to ask? Like,
Well, I mean, the simple answer is they probably they did it. It's a risky proposition. They got pitched the idea, but the suits were like, I don't really know. I don't know about this anime, and they probably don't even know how to spell anime, you know. But they like the premise, you know. All right, so who do you see in the lead role? And then the guy was like, blah blah blah. You know who's got a good following? Scarlett Johansson. She could sell this movie. Let's put her in there. She's like, unfortunately, she's being typecasted. She's like the ubiquitous female action hero. That's her thing. You know, she's Black Widow. She's, can't think of any other ones. I was gonna say Ultraviolet, but that was Mila. But you probably could have thrown in Scarlett Johansson and then you would have noticed the difference.
That's actually what I was gonna say, because that only goes so far. Because if you look at Mila Jovovich or Charlize Theron. Now, granted, Charlize Theron she's multifaceted. She can do more than just your action movie. But Mila Jovovich, I mean, when's the last time we've seen her in and I'm not knocking her. I love Mila Jovovich. She's awesome. She's sexy.
Yeah, me too.
She's mainly like, your action movie female. Because you don't really see her do anything else.
Yep.
Not that that's a bad thing, but it's what she's known for.
Are you bringing the alien?
And she does a really, really good job at it.
And doesn't let go.
It's trailing us.
Oh, what happened?
There we go. But yeah, she does a really good job at it. To the point where it's like, I can't really see her doing anything else. Just like the Resident Evil films. I can't see her doing anything other than that. Which sucks because the last one just came out.
Final chapter. Yeah, I just saw it. It was good. Yeah, I mean, they've deviated so much from the source material, but I had a good time with it.
I think she was getting bored with it, to be honest with you. Because the last one that came out, her lines just came out flat. She's like, "Oh no, you won't. Oh yes, I will." Even Michelle Rodriguez, when she was about to fall underneath the ice, she's like, "I'm gonna get you." And Amelia's characters.
Yeah, Michelle Rodriguez is cutie and she does the tomboy part well, but she's not a very good actress. Let's just be honest. And she's Puerto Rican. I should be part of her fan club, but she's not very good. She can all she does is have resting bitch face and it's Michelle Rodriguez. That is Michelle Rodriguez.
I don't know. I like Miss Rob, man. I mean, I think she's a decent actress because I've seen worse.
Yeah. She's not terrible, but she don't expect Academy Award winning moment from her. Mila does bring a little more to it.
If they ever did another an Aliens reboot, like an actual Aliens reboot, not the one that's coming out, Alien Covenant, which, don't get me wrong, I'm going to watch it. But, if they decided to do something more like Aliens, I would love to see her be the new Vasquez. Because Imrod would kill that role. I know for sure.
Yeah, she could do good on that.
But
she doesn't have... What I'm saying, she doesn't have much versatility. Mila Jovovich in The Fifth Element, that movie would not have been the same with anyone else in there.
That's true.
But maybe there's a couple of other people I could think of that could have done the role, but she made that movie, and that's really what launched her, in my opinion.
Because I remember when she was in He Got Game, which is a pretty decent movie, but she had a minor role in that. Because I mean, you're on the screen with Denzel Washington, and it's a basketball movie. So yeah, it's mainly going to be about Denzel and him doing what he's doing. But you know, Scarlett Johansson, like you said, I gotta agree with that. She's good. She's hot. She does make the numbers. But you know, the sad thing is, especially with the Asian market, you know, the U.S. doesn't really know too many good female Asian actors because of the fact that Hollywood keeps whitewashing everything. You know, it's like I was sitting down earlier today trying to think of what female Japanese actress would be good for the role of the Major, and I couldn't come up with anything.
I mean, Japanese, you'll be having a tough time. Just Asian as a whole, Michelle Yeoh maybe. What's her name? Suzy. Oh my, I can't think of her name. Suzy Q? No, not Suzy Q. What's the fucking name? Oh my god.
See?
Yeah.
See?
That's how bad it is.
I rest my case.
That's how bad it is.
I rest my case. Defense rest, Your Honor. Shit's over. Shit is done.
But you know, it cuts both ways too, because if you look at like for example the Hong Kong action film market, there should be a lot more crossover, but they kind of keep to themselves. You know, we got Jet Li, we got Jackie Chan. What else? Okay, we got Donnie Yen. Who else? Not that much has crossed over to the Western world, and it's not because Americans don't want it, and not because the opportunity is there. They keep kind of to their own, you know. So it does go both ways.
I will give you that. But, you know, there was a movie called I think Muay Thai Giant that had Nathan Jones in it. Nathan Jones is Australian. They didn't have to put him in it, and even Tony Jaa, you know, he had several different people of color in, you know, not, and when I say people of color, I'm not just talking about like, you know, dark skinned, light skinned people. I'm talking about he had, you know, based on his region, he had white people in there, he had black people in there, you know, his movies branched out too.
See, that's different though, because a big reason for that is you know, the culture in Thailand is actually really interesting, especially in Bangkok. There's a lot of expatriates out there, people that have relocated from the U.S. to Thailand. It's an emerging market, especially for like business consulting, marketing, social media type stuff. It's really fascinating.
I guess Thailand.
So they have.
I guess we need
the
to move
what?
to Thailand then. I was about to say Thailand. We need to move to Thailand.
I've thought about it. I've had some friends that have moved there, and I have some friends that moved back from there. So I think there's a certain limit you could reach there. Like, it's cool for a while, but you probably don't want to live there forever.
You can't move to Thailand because you're married.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard sell. But if you're single, you know, it's a good option to look at, folks. Because then
I'm done saying that.
people think of them as third world, but you know, Thailand, they got a lot of technology, a lot of development, a lot of businesses coming in there. It's really fascinating. But long story short, you know, they have a melting pot culture. Yeah, there's people moving to Hong Kong and other parts of China, but it's still predominantly a lot of Chinese people, and they really do stick to their own. You know, a lot of my Chinese friends are very cliquish. It's like, if they let you in, you're really lucky, but like, it's crazy. Like, I remember the time one of my Chinese friends in particular, his parents invited me for dinner. That's a huge deal, you know. And then for Chinese New Year, they gave me some of those red envelopes. I was like, damn. So they actually consider me part of their family. Cool. So, like, to be let into Chinese culture is crazy. They're very, very protective of their traditions, man. It's intense. I'm not saying the whitewashing is justified, but that's some of the stuff that's going on. And with Japanese culture, is pretty similar too. They're very conservative. You know, they kind of stick to their own. They don't trust outsiders. I mean, they have a term for it, the gaijin. You know, they don't trust the gaijin. So
You can't blame them though because of all
um,
the history that's been going on. I mean, they've had the Europeans, if I remember right, they came into one of their major trading ports, and boom, guns out, drawn. Like, hey, we're here to negotiate. If you don't want to negotiate, we got other ways to do it. So, it's just you're coming in contact with different cultures, and the willingness to trade is there, but it's being forced, and they almost lost their culture because of that. Matter of fact, Japan is almost losing their. They have some of the old school people there right now, but the younger generation, they're kind of like, we want to do our own thing. We want to be more like Westerners. So, in a sense, it's almost like Japanese culture is kind of fading out too because of that. So, it's something to think about.
yeah, that's a big thing. And they're dealing with a number of things. I can go into it. Like one of the big problems they're facing right now is that a majority of their culture is actually single.
Oh man.
The people are happy being single, and there's more and more people that don't even want to have a family. Like they might get married, and that's pushing it. But like having kids and all that stuff. So yeah, they're really working hard to kind of restore their culture and protect their own because it's a kind of a dire situation. So there's a lot of things that work, and I'm not making excuses for Hollywood whitewashing, but I'm saying that it's difficult when it comes to the Asian collaborations because there's so much diversity and so much tradition, and the trust barrier is so great. Like doing business, and I have clients that I've worked with in Japan and in China. It's a whole different ball game. Like you have to really understand their core values and what drives them, and how they have their love languages. They talk about like some people love by giving gifts, some people love by doing actions, some do it by words, etc., etc. It's kind of like that kind of thing, but on an even deeper level. Like you have to really understand what motivates them, and it takes a while. Like you can't. There's no shortcuts in it.
That's pretty deep. It's pretty deep indeed. But yeah, I mean, whitewashing aside, Hollywood's gonna do what they're gonna do. You're right about that. I just I may go see it because it does. I'm not gonna lie. Despite all that craziness, it does look good. And plus, I've read the anime and the manga in the past, and it's some really deep and philosophical stuff sometimes that they put in there.
Yeah, and they've had so many iterations of Ghost in the show.
And then there was Standalone Complex, and there's even some on Netflix right now. Because it took me a minute because I was looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute, is this Ghost in the Shell? Because the animation on it looked different, but lo and behold, it was Ghost in the Shell on Netflix, and they have the original Ghost in the Shell on Netflix as well. So. It's still a very popular anime, and it's definitely worth watching. But
and also, one last thing to think about with anime, if you look at a lot of anime, the Japanese are making fun of a lot of Western culture, so it's kind of fitting you have Westerners play the parts.
I guess that does make sense.
Because this comes straight from Japanese friends I have. They've admitted like they have friends that are manga artists and Japanese animators, and they say, yeah, the reason that the eyes are so big and exaggerated is because they're making fun of how Westerners look.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's very true.
So it's like art imitating art or something, or I don't know, whatever way you look at it, it's just some weird convoluted thing going on. It's like it's so meta,
There it is. But what I gotta agree, ScarJo is the hotness. Yes, she is the insta win. But you got Bato, who I don't like the way his character looks. I'm sorry, he doesn't look right.
Yeah, that one was kind of. I expected someone more burly.
Yeah, especially the eye part, because the eyes don't look like they're on point, man. Because I think he had cybernetic implants for his eyes, and they just looked like they took some coins or something and just popped them on his face and said, "Here, pretend these are your eyes. Make them work. Have fun."
Dude, wasn't there a part in the trailer where he goes, "Look what I got"? Like, I was like, what?
Think so.
Because just after he got the implants, he's like, "Look what I got." Like, really? That's the line you came up with?
It's like I wasn't even like it. Just I don't know how to feel about that. It's like I really don't. I really don't. I was a little upset.
It's like Stewie from Mad TV. He's like,
Oh,
"Look what
God,
I can do!"
missed that shit. Oh, Stuart!
and then the same actress does that character where she like has no respect to personal space and she's always coughing. So like she'll stand right next to me. Like,
I remember that. God, I missed that show.
yeah, that show's so fucking good. By the way, you could catch up on all not all of them, but like they have a lot of the episodes on the CWC app.
Nice.
Which is weird because I always thought of that as a Fox show.
You know what? Yeah.
But
It was
yeah.
more of a Fox
But,
show, you're right.
But apparently CW took over it, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad. Shoot, somebody's got to take over it. I really wish they'd bring back In Living Color.
Oh my god, I know, right? Yeah, just stop. Get the Wayans brothers to stop acting in movies and just do sketch comedy. That's a safe place to be.
Yeah, what about that? It's hard to find good comedy nowadays, though. Because I mean, even Kevin Hart, as much as I like Kevin Hart, he's kind of gone down. He's not as funny as he used to be.
Well, that's the problem with stand-up comedians is that the more successful they are, they inherently become less funny because a big part of good comedy is tragedy. You can't tell really funny stories unless your life is fucked up. That's just kind of how it works out.
And plus, I think they don't have the time to tell the stuff that they used to tell because, you know, when you have time to actually sit down and plan your skits out or plan your, take out the stuff that doesn't work in your act and, you know, improve on the stuff that does, you know, you can't do that when you're always working. So, because Kevin Hart's last stand-up wasn't that funny. Because he didn't have time to work on it. So, it's just sad.
Also, he's kind of a dick in real life, so that ruins it as well. Yeah.
Wow.
I know people that worked on his stage crew.
That sucks.
And he's kind of dickish.
Napoleon complex.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a shame, but a lot of people, when they get big, they forget how they got there. That's right. Holy shit! That's a dragon! That's a dragon! What?
He's still playing Dragon Age.
Okay, getting the hell out of here. I am not ready for that. Nope.
It's almost like you're reliving Skyrim. You know, when you first...
I gotta say, I am actually enjoying this more than Skyrim.
Oh, wow. You know...
Which is really weird. I gotta give Skyrim another shot. Because I love Elder Scrolls. I'm a longtime fan. I played Daggerfall and Arena and all the other weird ones they had on PC. I loved Oblivion on 360.
Yeah, Oblivion was good.
But Skyrim, for some reason, I think it just came out at a bad time for me. I didn't get to give it the time it deserved. But for some reason, it didn't hook me in right off the bat. So, I don't know, I'm sure if I got to play it more, I'd eventually would have fallen in love with it. But
that game had me all day. All day.
Well, yeah, I know I'm the odd man out because everybody loves Skyrim. I'm the only guy that's kind of like, it didn't do it for me. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just it didn't have that strong hook to keep me in there. And then I just got sidetracked by life and other games, and
Works.
yeah. I mean, I even played it. I went back to it recently on PC. I might do it for our Retro Friday series. Right now, I'm kind of doing Dark Souls and some other random shit here and there for Retro Friday, but that's been on hiatus, and life happens, man.
Back. We just gotta
But
find a way.
gotta find a way. But yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition, much like Mass Effect Andromeda, not sure why it's getting so much crap.
Because of the fact that you said to give it a chance, I'm gonna download that EA trial thing and see what happens from there.
Yeah, you have EA access, don't you?
I should. It's been a minute since I used it, but I should.
That's 10 hours of gameplay. Can't go wrong with that.
Free gameplay at that.
I knew I loved it first. That's the thing. Playing it for the first 30 minutes, I already knew I was in love. Skyrim didn't do that for me for some reason. Like, I saw the potential, but it didn't hook me in right away. But Andromeda, I'm like, yo, this is dope. So, hey, I have a kitty visiting me. Hey, baby. Come on. She's playing hard to get. She comes up to me, and then I go to grab her, and she's like, no, you catch me. Nah, I'm lazy. You come to me. But, do you want to talk about Andromeda real quick?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't wanna impose on horseplay, but yeah, we can do that. We can do that if you want to.
Well, you know what? We'll approach it from a different angle on horseplay.
First-hand live experience from your man, Yogizilla. Hit us with.
So the people are really taking the shit all over the animations and the character models. All right. First of all, animations in Mass Effect have never really been that great, so this is not a new development. I can see people saying it feels a little loosey goosey, but the controls feel tight. They're responsive enough for what it's supposed to be. So I don't see it as a problem. I think that's just nitpicking. The faces, okay, they do look a little creepy in instances. It's like they took Disney style faces and then try to make them ultra realistic, and the effect is kind of weird. It's like big eyes and big smiles, but then it looks realistic, and it's like, whoa, like, I don't know. I get it, kind of creeper status.
One of the faces reminded me of the doll off of, God, what's that movie? Where, they're mediums, right? And they found a demon spirit, and they were trying to, I think, exorcise it from the house. God, it's a recent movie. It's Insidious, I think.
There's a doll, and they try to that could be Insidious, but the doll part is throwing me off.
The doll off Insidious, but that's what one of the faces reminded me of, because she had looked right.
Well, that was my initial feeling as well, but I got used to it quickly and actually started to really appreciate the change in the art style. Because I already accepted going into this that it was going to be a different creative direction, because there's a lot of new players on the team, so that's fine. But it still fundamentally feels like a Mass Effect game. It's not like such a huge departure where you're like, this is no longer Mass Effect. In fact, they enhanced a lot of things. They made the environments a lot more interactive. A lot of people were like slamming the fact that there's no Renegade Paragon anymore, but fundamentally it still plays the same, because you have to make decisions that are right for the character that you're role playing. But instead of making it more binary, oh, it's good or bad, it's more contextual where it's agree, disagree, you know, and do you make light of the situation or do you take it serious? You know, like it's a lot more flexible of a system. So I like that a lot better. It makes you think through your decisions a lot more, and it gives your decisions, I think, more of a feeling of a weight. Whereas with Renegade and Paragon, a lot of times they just started kind of going, well, red or blue, which one should I pick? And it made it too easy to kind of just go through that. Now I'm like, so what's really going on here? What's my character's backstory? You know, who am I in this game and in this story, and how do I really feel about this? And you know, right off the bat, I felt very immersed in what was going on. The supporting characters are interesting. There's already a couple that I can see myself really liking. The story picks up pace really fast. Like it's insane. There's a good sense of exploration in there. And outside the campaign, it looks like they took the fantastic multiplayer experience from Mass Effect 3 and actually made it even better somehow. I don't know how, but they pulled it off. So, you know, people complaining about the ending in Mass Effect 3, there's merit in that. Complaining about Andromeda, saying it's a really bad game, it's not a good Mass Effect game. I think they're just trying to. It's like the cool thing to do is to hate on it, because it's an objectively fun game as far as I'm concerned, and that's really what matters at the end of the day. So, those are my thoughts.
I don't know if I can Redbox it, if it's even at the Redbox, I might try it. Or actually, no, EA access for 10 hours. Yeah, you did say that. Because I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's originally what I was gonna do. So I guess I'm still kind of stuck on it. But you know, it's just, I'm not even gonna lie. I backed out because I was afraid of I was just afraid of my money being wasted again, because it seems like the last couple of times I even purchased a game, they're like, oh yeah, it's the Super Ultra Deluxe Edition. So, you know, I go and get the Super Ultra Deluxe Edition, and it's just the regular edition with fancier wrapping paper. So, you know, I guess I'm a little skeptical lately because, you know, whenever you have a AAA title coming out and you don't really deliver on what should have been delivered, then yeah, I'm going to worry a lot. So the closer we got to the actual drop date of Mass Effect, the more worried I became, to the point where I just canceled my pre-order. I wanted to hear what the reviewers said, and lo and behold, they're all like, oh my god, this is not your typical Mass Effect game. The bar was set too high. You know, it could be better. 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 3.5 out of 10. So, you know, here I am, just
worried.
And then the some of the graphics, because I was looking at it was a stair animation. They got the female writer. She's going down the stairs, but she's got like this little derpy walk going on. So.
Oh, they're talking about the crab walk or something.
It was so weird. I'm like, I'm about to drop my money on this. I don't know if I want to.
I mean, there was nothing I experienced that was game breaking. Like, so I think people are just nitpicking. Like, I see myself, once I get that game, I'm gonna play the shit out of that multiplayer. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, as far as I'm concerned, there's only a handful of games I think are must-buys on console this year. There's a few that I'm curious about, like The Surge. I have to read up on that because I just came out.
It's the one where you get exo armor, right?
Yeah, for some reason, it kind of gave me a slight sense of Bioshock in space. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. It's just maybe just a weird thing. Like that's how my brain is wired. But
if it's Bioshock in space, wouldn't that be more like System Shock?
Yeah, that game already exists. But it looked more like it was leaning to me. If I recall correctly, it had kind of a slight horror vibe to it. Or am I bugging?
System Shock or the Surge?
No, the Surge.
Based on a trailer, it seemed like it may have had a little bit of a horror vibe to it because the guy was walking into this facility, and this basic production plant for exoskeletons and exo armor rather, not exoskeletons, and it seemed like it was derelict and run down. And on the front of the building, it said lies. So I guess it was supposed to be something that was promised to everybody as far as the next biggest thing, the wave of the future. But it looks like things kind of went down and it turned into a post-apocalyptic world. But I don't know. It seems
yeah. There was like a chair with like little prongs and doodads you have to hook into yourself, right? Or am I like remembering something different?
What kind of Surge game you playing?
Yeah, there was like at one of the trailers there was like a scene where there's like a chair that you like, it's all in first person, right? And it's like a chair that you're supposed that it looks like you're gonna sit in, and it's got like all these like probes and sharp looking things. Like it looks creepy, like it's some kind of like the kind of device you hook someone into if you want to like read their minds, like see what they're dreaming about or something, or torture them, or both.
Go back and watch that trailer because that sounds pretty deep.
Yeah, that's what I recall for some reason.
We're talking about the same place, the same game, right? You got the exoskeletons and the dude was fighting off robots and everything.
Let me double check. It's got to be the same game. I remember the name from E3. The Surge game is the upcoming action RPG developed by Deck 13. The studio behind Lords of the Fallen. Survive in a dystopian future during Earth's fall. It's always dystopian. I want to survive during a happy future.
I know, right? I just want a Frosty.
Hi, kitty. Lay down. You're making me nervous. Let me see. The Surge. Yeah. This is the one.
Maybe I missed the trailer.
Or maybe this is a lot more mech than I remember. I might be thinking about something different. Because he's sitting in a chair that looks kind of creepy, but this doesn't have that vibe that I got from the other one. So yeah, maybe I'm thinking about something different. What was that? Oh man, I might have to look through our E3 notes from previous podcasts. This looks pretty cool though.
It does look good. I know I'm interested in it. Hopefully it'll be on a system that I can actually play instead of having to find a computer and possibly put it together, because that's gonna be a minute.
Yeah, it's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
We're good.
Yeah. Yeah, good. You're good.
So, Iron Fist. Have you watched it?
Yes, and I finished it.
2 more episodes to go, and I am grossly underwhelmed.
And we must have contrasting flavors, because I actually enjoyed this more than Luke Cage.
It was too much corporate stuff to me, because Iron Fist, I'm ready for this guy that's ready to throw down, do some kung fu and whatnot, but it's more about, I just want to be Danny Rand. I want to come home and I want to have people love me, and I want puppy dogs and Skittles and kitties, and I'm like, okay. But don't get me wrong, that doesn't diminish from the fight scenes. The fight scenes are on point. I love them. Good, especially the, I don't know if spoiler alert. If you have not watched Iron Fist, please turn away. But, the drunken kung fu fight.
Hey,
Yeah, that was good.
That was good.
That was on point. I will give it that. But it's just some of the other stuff. It's like it doesn't need to happen. Like, okay, with Ward and his father, and them trying to take over the Rand Corporation, and I'm sitting here like, okay, well, this is interesting. I see backstory. Obviously, they don't want Danny back in their life, so they can keep what they have going on. But I don't see what this has to do with the price of apples. Can we like get to the Iron Fist story instead of Iron Fist and Friends? That's basically what it was. It's like Iron Fist and Friends. So
yeah. So I feel you. Like, this is a lot of character development and exposition. Like, there needs to be a season 2, really.
And that's what I told my wife. I mean, it does make sense. It's like they have to have character build up. I can understand that, but make them important characters, because like really, I would have liked if they would have had Danny Rand come back. We would have gotten straight to Colleen Wing and God, what's her name? Is it? Oh God, I forgot everybody's name. Claire.
Claire.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh God, Rosario Dawson. I can forget her. Gosh, she's gorgeous. I love her.
She's Brian Beauty.
What a great combination, freaking Puerto Rican and black. Oh, God. Sorry. That's a beautiful creature. God was inspired. That's. I was looking around like, oh, that's your best work right there, Lord. Like, seriously. Ever since she was young, I loved her, man. Like,
I just wish they would have worked on developing the actual characters that are mainly important in the game instead of just not the game. I'm sorry, the show, instead of like, hey, we need some corporate espionage. Hey, we got to make this happen. Hey, we got to make that. And it's like, okay, well, that's all well and good, but I want to hear more about the Kung Fu Man and what he's gonna do. That's just me.
See, and on the flip side, I think if you look at Luke Cage, which I really enjoyed, I like the fact that it was a lot more of an urban side of New York City. And that part I should have found more relatable. But then when it comes to the characters, there was no character that was, to me, memorable, sadly. The one big character that was memorable, they killed him off.
Mouth, right?
Well, him too. But the thing is, the problem with Cottonmouth is that he wasn't a good arch enemy. Because, like, if you look at the other Marvel Netflix shows, you have Kingpin, you have Gravemind, you have The Hand, Madame Gao. Like, these are really good enemies to have, really good villains. And then, who did you have in Luke Cage?
You also got to consider that
Cottonmouth?
Cottonmouth wasn't trying to, the Hand is trying to take the world over. Wilson Fisk is trying to take over as much as he can. Cottonmouth is all like, hey, this is my area. This is my place. I'm cool with that. As long as nobody messes with me, I'm fine. He was basically the Geese Howard of the series. Because Geese Howard, he's like, as long as I got my city, I'm fine. I don't care about anything else. Don't step in here.
Freaking Geese and Fatal Fury, what an asshole boss battle.
He was an asshole only if you stepped into his land. If you weren't on his land, you were good. He's that dog that you don't want to piss off. But, I mean, I remember Cottonmouth because he was just his whole character in general. He had no powers. He just had a bunch of henchmen. But at the same time, his mentality and how his character had so many layers to it because he didn't want that position. He was forced into it. The lady that raised him turned him into a gangster to the point where he felt like he wanted to play the piano. He couldn't play the piano because of the fact that he was forced into the life that he was in. Whereas his sister, she had better opportunities and better choices that he wasn't afforded. So he was trying to watch out for her. And at the end of the day, he got stabbed in the back by her. And it's just kind of a sad turn of events because he could have been so much more, and he gets replaced by an even worse person in the form of Diamondback, who's for some odd reason had a mad on for Luke Cage. I mean, it was their history. I think they were brothers or something, maybe stepbrothers, but that part I didn't understand because Diamondback wasn't exactly the best character to bring out there.
Yeah, and honestly, I forgot about Diamondback soon after. You just reminded me about him. Oh yeah, he wasn't he was, wasn't he?
A fleeting character. He was almost like I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a badass character, but he wasn't like. He was more like a mini boss, Actually, no, he was more like a boss that you just had to beat to get a key in the game. Because there's some memorable mini bosses, but Diamondback was just like that. Oh, okay, I gotta kill you to get this. That's fine. We're done. That's basically what he was. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, and I just feel like with Luke Cage overall, there was a lot of missed opportunities. They didn't integrate it as well into the rest of the universe. Okay, you had Claire. Claire's been the anchor for everything.
The one to bring everybody together.
Which, thank God for that. But there needed to be a little bit more than that. Like, to me, out of all of them, most people say Jessica Jones was the weakest.
I'll agree with that. I'll definitely agree with that.
But I think Luke Cage is, personally, just because it fell short on so many things. It had so much potential, and it kind of wasted it. Jessica Jones, people say, well, it was kind of a soapy kind of thing. There wasn't much action. But that's what it was supposed to be. It was more melodrama, more of a noir story, and it worked. Luke Cage, every time you saw stuff, like, oh, I need more of this, then I was like, no, I'm done. It was just a big cock tee. I felt blue balled the whole time.
I thought it was...
Like, honestly, I started Luke Cage. Who else was memorable? Tell me one character that's memorable.
I told you, Diamondback, and I remember Shades, because Shades was he was behind the scenes.
Oh,
he was
Shades. Yeah, that's another thing. You got some Puerto Rican dude that's got cool little swagger and he's wearing glasses, but like he never really does anything. Like they build up all this thing like he's working behind the scenes, and nothing really amounts from that. Like, again, they keep falling short.
Well, I think because in a sense you could say what Luke Cage is to you is how I feel about Iron Fist. It's like I wasn't too pleased with it, but at the end of the day I see that it's possible for season 2 to hopefully expand on it even more, because it just feels like you want more. You actually want the filler in the show. You want it to make sense. It's just a little annoying because of the fact that there's only 13 episodes and they're going to be like, hey, that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, you had that big reveal. Madame Gao is from Kunlun.
Yeah.
That's huge. Yeah. And I found her fascinating to begin with. So that just added another layer of interest to her. Claire plays a significant role in this, and I love her in this show. What's the name? You just said her name. Freaking the cute Colleen. Yeah, like Colleen Wing is a cutie, and she kicks ass. Can't go wrong with that. I like the chemistry between her and Danny Rand, the Iron Fist. I do agree that his whininess is a little bit long in the tooth, but I understand why they're doing that, because he's conflicted. He doesn't know who he is. He's a 10-year-old stuck in a 25-year-old's body. That's a tough place to be in. Like, he's never had family. If he lost his family at a young age, he doesn't have any sense of identity, a sense of a purpose, other than what's been thrown at him. Everybody's trying to use him. Everybody betrays him. Like this story is all about betrayal, and you as the viewer, you're fucked up in the head. It's like, damn, I really was starting to like them, and they fucked up too. So like, you're scarred from it, and you feel for him. Like, I think they do a really good job. If you really like get in there, like, yeah, like it'd be super dope to have more kung fu because the choreography is on point. When you see it, like, damn, we need more of this. But I get it, like they're throwing that in there because you need that emotional conflict, and that's really his biggest challenge, is fighting his demons and understanding himself and who he really is and where his loyalty should lie. And they resolved that very well in this. So when they finally get to those last 2 episodes, you're like, okay, now his real journey begins. But you don't feel like it was a waste either, because I mean, he has all these huge showdowns. And again, I want to spoil it too much, but you know, you got the Hand, the Madame Gao. You know, his family isn't really the best family.
True.
His best friend from Kung Lung,
Davos, right?
like,
Well,
questionable.
You know,
Davos,
is,
yep.
Because I was go through. I think it was not comics. Not comics explains. It might have been. Is it that or Comistorian on YouTube? And I think it was the Iron Fist novel about the immortal weapons. And you come to find out that Davos was actually an Iron Fist who ended up going to like one of the 7. I think it's one of 7 mystical cities. It's about like Asgard, how Asgard has all these cities connected to it through the tree of the World Tree. The same thing is kind of with Kung Lung, because Kung Lung, I think, is a city of heaven. Then you've got all these other cities.
The World Tree is Cathedral. I say yeah.
You know, I can't pronounce my Norse names right, other than Thor and Mjolnir. But
it's definitely not said how you spell it. That's for sure.
but Davos is actually the Steel Phoenix, who is like the Iron Fist, but he doesn't have the same temperament as Danny Rand, and he gets his ass beat by this dude. He was something of orphans. I don't know if it's like the leader of orphans or the something of orphans, but he just basically whooped the dude's ass to the point where he's like, it happened in a matter of seconds. By the time Davos threw one punch, this dude had already hit him so many times, and he said, "You're acting like a child," before he finished whooping his ass. It was like, oh god, I gotta find a link, man. It was good. It was really good.
Well, I mean, Davos to me is more of a crybaby than Danny is, and he's older, way older, I think, because he spent all his time in Kung Lung. The way time, if I'm not mistaken, the way time moves in Kung Lung is different from the mortal realm, so you don't age at the same rate. They kind of allude to the fact that, you know, Madame Gao goes back to Kung Lung every now and then, and she's actually 400 years old, even though she doesn't look like it.
Great day. I don't know, in the shoes, I say differently.
Yeah. And she's got some power to her, but she's like, she pulls her punches. But she does that one move on Danny. I'm like, she's playing everybody, like acting like she's this frail old woman, and all of a sudden she does that move, and he like flies like across the room, like,
she's like, Yoda.
Shit. Yep. But yeah, there's a lot of depth in this universe. I really like what they set up with this, tying it into the other, you know, Marvel Netflix shows. Like it really filled in a lot of the gaps. And I wanted more of Madame Gao, and we got that. I wanted more of the Hand. In fact, it makes me want to go back to Daredevil and Punisher.
I can't wait till Punisher comes out because it's good.
Yeah, I want to go back to all those things and kind of like fill in those gaps, man.
I hear you.
I think they haven't had the Punisher standalone. They've only had the Daredevil episode, the Daredevil season where the Punisher was in there.
It might have Blade and think there was
That's
a name.
right.
I'm trying to remember what it is. Next time we do the show, I'll try and have all that information up there. But you know, I know that show's gonna be good.
See, that's where it's gonna get. That's where it's gonna get interesting, is because this has been a fairly grounded show, like universe that they've created. Danny might have the most elaborate of the powers, obviously, because Luke Cage just really, for all intents and purposes, he has iron skin or whatever,
Yeah,
you know.
skin can't be penetrated.
But well, it can,
in
but
certain circumstances, yeah. But I'm trying to. He's super.
you need
super
armor
strength.
piercing.
Yeah.
But it's pretty basic. Like with Danny, he actually control his chi and do all kinds of
That was
crazy
the other
shit
thing
with
I did.
it.
Oh, he's also not using the full extent of the Iron Fist too. Because in the comic book, I think there's actually another Iron Fist that's still out there, so that's why he can't fully use the full Iron Fist.
Yeah. They make allusions to that on the show too. If you didn't catch that,
Still watching it. Just got 2 more episodes to go.
no, cause Madam, you should have caught it. Madam Gal says you're not the only Iron Fist
That
I
is
know.
true. I think she said something like, I never thought
Yeah.
I'd need another Iron Fist in my lifetime, or something like that.
Dude, it's really fascinating. Like Luke Cage, when it was done, I enjoyed it, but I in my mind I said if there's no more Luke Cage, I'll be okay. Like I didn't feel like I needed more.
I know I needed some closure because he's sending love letters to Claire still.
Oh hell no, that's my woman. Get the fuck out of here.
Shoot.
How dare you?
Yeah, it pretty much covers everything going on in the.
Everybody wants Claire. Freaking Daredevil.
Daredevil had Claire.
Luke Cage. He did get a piece of that action.
That tall cup of coffee or whatever, however Luke said it was. I don't know. He said he found Puerto Rican blend to be quite robust. He's sitting here macking through coffee. I mean, if that works for you, go right ahead. I can't be mad.
That was great. And that's really one of the few times you got like a sense of personality for him. Because he's kind of stiff and one-dimensional. And I get that's his character. But that's another thing where it was like...
But if you didn't notice, Claire's saying "Sweet Christmas" now, and that's Luke's catchphrase.
Yeah, I did catch that. Sweet Christmas. I did like that. Was one of the things I liked about him. That little catchphrase that he had. That did add a little more flavor to him. Other than that, he felt like too basic. Like he was like the Soldier 76 in the Marvel world.
Soldier 76 will whoop somebody up good. I'll tell you that much.
I know, but at the end of the day, like. He's not really telling a good story. It's like, I got guns.
That's all about Jessica
cool.
Jones. I'm like, okay, you're a detective with superpowers. Go you. Should have get some of that Jessica Jones action too. I'm just saying.
But see, it was such a different story. It was ambitious because she's an anti-hero. She doesn't really want the responsibility, and then you sort of find out why she's tormented. And on top of that, Gravemind is probably the most fucked up enemy you could have. He freaking control people.
Yeah, just
like
telling people.
What a great like dude, and they did such a good time storytelling. They did such a good job storytelling that you almost felt bad for him, and then you're like, no, I don't want to feel bad for him. He's evil, Like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I get, though, it is an acquired taste. So, I won't push for Jessica Jones. But between Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I feel like Iron Fist really is setting up the universe more. It's setting up the stage for Defenders. And I know we were talking about this a little bit. Original Defenders, you think OG Defenders, you think the
Namor,
founders, Hulk,
and Doctor Strange.
Namor, yeah.
Even Silver Surfer was in there.
Yeah.
But I think
But
Iron Fist and Luke Cage, I think, and Misty Knight too. That was another character in there that's memorable. I think Heroes for Hire.
Misty Knight was the detective?
Yeah, the black chick with the curly hair that was the detective that met Luke Cage in the club.
Yeah. They had that one night stand.
Hot too.
See, I liked her, but like I quickly she's beautiful. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, and she was a strong, empowered woman. But after the show, I forgot about her.
It's because they haven't pushed her to her potential yet. Because I don't know how. Because in the comic books, Misty Knight has a mechanical arm. I can't remember the backstory about how she lost it, but Tony Stark gave her a new arm, and she ends up being the kind of like the quote unquote handler of Luke Cage and Iron Fist whenever they become heroes for hire. So I really want to see that happen over the Defenders, because I think the Defenders, like we said,
that was pre the MCU reboot, right? In 2008ish.
Actually,
right?
Heroes for Hire has been because I know Luke Cage and Iron Fist has been a duo for years now. Ever since Luke Cage was wearing the that metal headband and he had the chain for a belt, and Iron Fist was wearing the green suit with that old school yellow head cover. I mean, they've been around for a
that
minute.
I remember. That I want to say that iteration of Defenders and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I want to say that was late 80s, early 90s when it came about.
Late 80s. Actually, Cage might be close to 70s, but either way, because back then the kung fu movies or just blaxploitation and kung fu movies were like really, really.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying like that collabo didn't come around until a little later, maybe mid 80s or so.
But man, shoot, I'm gonna wrap it up with a little bit of comic book news, because you remember Prometheus, right?
Ooh. Prometheus, the awesome alien movie.
Kind of having a change of heart on it, because there's a graphic novel called Aliens, Fire and Stone that actually, and this is another spoiler alert. If you haven't finished Prometheus all the way, this is a spoiler. Warning, you've had years. So you remember the little alien at the end of the movie, right? That busted out of the space jockey, not the space jockey, the engineer.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I rewatched it recently because of you, and I still loved it.
Well, there's a book called Fire and Stone that actually, in this graphic novel, it explains to you what might have happened to that creature. Because
that was clearly the precursor to the xenomorph.
True. But and again, I saw these two channels on YouTube. One of them is Acid Glow, the other one is Mr. H, and they cover alien and predator information. So that's how I found out about this book. It is really interesting, but it tells you what ends up happening to that alien. I'm not going to ruin it, but it's really interesting. It was called the Deacon alien at the end of the Prometheus. What exactly happens to it isn't something that you would expect, because there's no real natural predators for that alien on that planet. Because the only thing you really had were like whatever the black goo was touching and turning in, morphing creatures into, like the little the hammerpedes. The thing that went into that dude's suit, and he's like, "Hey, little fella, let me pet you." "Oh my God, you're trying to kill me." "Oh, let me try to pet you still." Which is the point. That's what you had a problem with to begin with, and I'm like, yeah, it was comedy relief, but it was also like fucked up. Like, come on, dude, like why? But you know what?
you say that's ridiculous, but assholes would do that.
I mean,
Like
I
people
know,
do
but it's
stupid
still
shit like that all the
he ended up.
time.
The snake ended up wearing him as a skin suit. Man, come on, he was done.
I know.
It was a big snake
That-
too. Like, why did he open his mouth? If he would have kept his mouth closed, he might have been okay. So, and the thing kept going inside of him. It's like he should have died within the first couple of seconds because it went all the way inside of him. Instead, he's like,
Dude, that was totally a deep
yeah,
throat
man,
thing
that was
going
like,
on.
and then some. Like,
My favorite thing was when the android was trying to communicate with the alien dude, the last survivor,
yep.
the progenitor, if you will, and like the dude looked at him and was like, blink, blink, and then slapped the shit out of him. I was like,
Ripped his head
damn,
off and killed the dude with his head. That's
dude. Like, it was just a proverbial backhand, like shut the fuck up, like
that was pretty cool in the movie. But also in this comic or this graphic novel, Predator makes appearance, and it has a little bit of a Moby Dick aspect to it because this Predator is an elder hunter who, well, I suppose that once the elders are in charge, they are given more free range as far as what they can hunt. So instead of hunting the usual xenomorphs and, smaller game, I'm not saying a xenomorph is small game, but, it's like the ultimate or one of the ultimate creatures that you can hunt aside from humans. But this Predator wanted to kill an engineer, aka the space jockey, because, it was something he wanted to do, I guess, for the longest time. So because of that, he ends up getting the nickname Ahab, and the space jockey is his white whale. So, I mean, it's just interesting, and because of this book, it's making me want to give this movie another try. And I never thought I would say that.
you should.
I never thought I would say that.
Have you seen Arrival?
Who was in that? Or what was that about, actually?
The only person I could think of that's very well known. Actually, the leading lady on it is well known. Oh, God, I can't remember who she is. I'm bad with names. I'm not the guy I asked for a name. It has the guy that plays Hawkeye
Jeremy
in the
Renner?
Avengers movies. I can tell you that. Jeremy Renner, there you go.
Oh wait, this is a brand new movies that just came out, right? Like they wanted to try and talk to the aliens and ask them why they were there. Okay.
And there's some really fascinating stuff there about how communication styles could change, and we take for granted romanization, but like pictography and other types of communication, it explores that. It's really fascinating. And there's some timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff going on as well. So definitely check out. I'd be curious to see how you feel about that. Because even though maybe the themes are different, the style of storytelling for me felt very similar, and I enjoyed both movies. Arrival and Prometheus, that to me are both top-notch sci-fi. Of course, obviously, with Prometheus, what's great about it is that it's setting up, it's giving you some of that backstory that it wasn't there before, and I'm still like, well, why are they mad at us? Why don't they want us anymore? What did we do? Like, I mean, that alien was really pissed off. Like, he didn't want to have any conversation. He's like, no.
The head of David, which
like, yeah, what did we do to deserve that?
I think translated, David asked the alien to basically try and save this man's life. By this man, I mean Wayland. So the alien is like, why does this man need to be saved? And David's like, because he wants to be a god or something. And I think the conversation basically ended up being something like, what has he done to be a god? And I think David said something like he created me, and then the alien said he already is one, and then that's when he ripped off David's head and killed Wayland with it. So well, I guess he's not a god anymore. Puny god. There we go. I said it. But hey, I guess some conversations in there. I'd say that this has been a very successful mission, and I love it when a plan comes together. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our frequencies open at all times. And Yogi, tell us where we can get in touch with you.
Well, when I'm not dying in Dragon Age Inquisition, you can usually find me at YogiZilla everywhere: Twitter, Xbox Live, Facebook, Skype. I don't know. What are people using these days? Who knows? I'll tell you what I'm not on is Snapchat. I still don't get that shit. I think I'm getting too old for this. Like, what's the purpose of Snapchat? Is it a sexting app? Does it actually have a useful application?
You can't chat through the pictures. What's wrong with these kids?
It's madness, I tell you. But yeah, that's where you can find me. And once I get the Mass Effect Andromeda, you'll definitely be seeing me on that. That's a good game. People should give it a shot. Form your own opinions. Don't believe the hype. It's a sequel.
That was a shot at me.
Who's that from?
That might be a shot at.
No.
I got grazed by it. That's a shot at.
Stop! Dude, don't believe the hype. It's a sequel. You know that song. You're killing me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Beard is definitely talking smack about it. I see where you're coming from. Oh yeah, it'll be a interesting night. Night to remember.
11 o'clock on Thursday nights. Beard will definitely have an opinion about that. But also, if you are interested in becoming a fellow Warbound yourself, please feel free to leave a comment for us on our Twitter page at Warbound Radio, or drop a line at Warbound Radio. Actually, sorry, I'm tired. WarboundRadio@gmail.com. All questions, inquiries, comments will be answered. You can also check the main site out at wardchildgames.com. And once again, this is an echo. The echo.
An echo?
I'll take it. Once again, this is part of the Geeky Antics Network. So definitely feel free to stop by, leave some info there, leave some love for the whole gang at geekyantics.net. Come show us some love. Till then, remember, war is never silent. Expect to see more. Tell him peace, Yogi. Tell him peace.
Peace out, yo. Peace, love, and chicken grease.
Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Or good morning.
And how?